Okay, so this is balancing equations, and there's a really simple way to balance equations and get them right every time. If you try and take shortcuts and do it a different way, then you'll probably get it right a lot of the time, but on the odd occasion, you'll get it wrong. If you do it this way and you follow it to the letter, exactly how I do it, then you'll get it right every time and you'll get full marks. Okay? And for my example, I've just done combustion. So I've reacted an alkane with some oxygen to get carbon dioxide and water, as my example. And here's how we balance equations. I take my finger or a pen or your hand or any pointing instrument and I start at the far left of my equation. And I move it across until I come to my first element. My first element here is carbon. Now all I do is I look at that element and I forget every other element in my equation. And I try and balance the one element I'm looking at. So I'm looking at carbon, there's 5 carbons here. So if I look to my other side, there's only 1 carbon there, so I need to change it. Now the rules are, you can't change the little numbers, you can only change the big numbers. Okay? And you can only change them at the start of the molecule. So I couldn't put a 4 there, for example, it has to go at the start. So I've got 5 carbons here, 1 carbon there, whack a 5 at the front, and that's now balanced. Bingo. I then take my hand, my pen, whatever, my pointing instrument, and I move it on to the next element, hydrogen. I've got 12 hydrogens on this side. Let's look how many I've got on the other side. I've got 2. Okay, so let's see. If I do 6 at the front, that's 6 times 2, that's 12. That's all balanced now. Bingo. And then move across. Oxygen. I've got 2 oxygens on this side, and I've got a total of 10 oxygens there, 5 times 2, plus 6. So 10 add 6 is 16. So I've got 16 on this side, but only 2 on that side. So if I put an 8 in front of my oxygens there, that is now balanced. And the rule is, you do that, you start on this side, and you work your way across, doing one element at a time, until you get to the arrow. If you changed anything on that trip, you then have to go back and check it's all balanced. And if you then change something again on your way back, you have to go back again. And you keep on going back and forwards until nothing else needs to be changed. Okay? So I changed something on that last trip, so I need to go back and check it's all still balanced. Well, yep, my oxygens are still balanced. Yep, my hydrogens are still balanced. And yep, my carbons are still balanced. So that's okay. And as I didn't need to change anything on that last trip, I can now say my equation is balanced. Okay? And that's balancing equations.